Of the 72 million Hoover vacuums made since 1908, half are still beating, sweeping, and cleaning. How long will today's Hoover last? Call us in another 80 years. Reliability. Hoover invented it.
Welcome to Bladed Tech Musings. I am your host, Bladed Tech. The vacuum cleaner. It is a seemingly mundane appliance that graces everyone's home, whether an upright model, a hand vacuum, or a utility vac for the garage. It is doubtful that you even paid attention to the brand when you bought your vacuums. For the record, the vacuum market is dominated by brands like Dyson, Shark, and Bissell. But in 1908, there was only one brand, Hoover. And for 81 glorious years, Hoover manufactured and sold the best vacuums in the world. Today it is impossible to buy a Hoover vacuum. Hong Kong company Tektronix sells vacuums in the US under the Hoover brand, but the last Hoover factory shuttered in 2007. Let's look at what made Hoover vacuums special and how they compare to vacuum cleaners now sold in the 21st century. The vacuums available in stores today are much like this Dyson model DC07. Dyson stopped making the DC07 in 2008, and its last upright vacuum with a non-articulating base was the DC33, which is still available new for about $300. But other than the articulating ball that has taken place of the fixed base, the Dyson vacuums pretty much all operate the same. In fact, the way a vacuum operates hasn't changed since Hoover manufactured its first model.
A rotating brush lifts dirt from the surface being cleaned. The vacuum's motor creates a vortex that sucks up the dirt into a receptacle. This process continues until the receptacle is full of dirt, whereupon it is emptied and the process can begin again. The suction from the vacuum has to be high enough to suck up the dirt freed by the rotating brush, but not so high as to suck up the carpet or the cleaning surface. This is why we don't use shop vacs to clean most interior surfaces.
The mechanical process of an upright vacuum cleaner seems obvious in retrospect, but prior to 1908, mechanical sweepers either did one or the other, sweep up dirt or suck up dirt. It took the ingenuity of an Ohio janitor, James Spangler, to mate the two, and then a local leather goods manufacturer, William Hoover, to recognize the potential in Spangler's contraption.
The history of technology was impacted by another leather goods manufacturer, Tandy. Episode 2 shows how Tandy, and by proxy Radio Shack, changed the very face of personal computing. The link to episode 2 can be found below.
The modern upright vacuum cleaner sucks up dirt either through the base, in normal mode, or through an attachment, which stows into the back of the waste chamber. And that's about it. The fact is, these vacuums are missing features that were commonly available in models available throughout the 20th century.
What's missing? No headlight for one that illuminates the cleaning surface. Or how about a rubber bumper that protects furniture and walls from the vacuum itself? This Dyson DC07 is quite heavy and resists pushing on carpeted surfaces. Power-assisted wheels, available on models in the 20th century, would go a long way in making vacuuming less of a chore. Another missing feature is a retracting cord. Modern vacuums typically require the user to wrap the long cord around two studs on the bottom and top of the back of the vacuum. A cord retractor would make this less aggravating. All those features would be nice to have, But the one feature that is probably the most important is even less obvious than the four already mentioned. What is it? There's no bag. Younger viewers won't even know what I'm talking about, but if you look at the description of many modern vacuums, you'll notice that it often includes an adjective like bagless. Bagless vacuums allow for the chambers to be removed and the collected dirt to be discarded. But what happens if the dirt won't come out of the chamber? Then you have problems. Either you are trying to get it out with some sort of stick, or worse, your hand. Not so hypoallergenic.
Now that we know what a bagless vacuum cleaner doesn't do, let's find out what a bagged vacuum cleaner does. To that end, let's take a drive to some local stores and see if we can buy one.
Since Sears is essentially out of business, my next option was to drive to the nearest national hardware chain store. After venturing inside the cavernous facility, I wandered over to the appliance area and located the upright vacuum cleaner aisle. That's right, there was an entire aisle of vacuums and related cleaning machines. A careful and methodical stroll down that aisle revealed an unfortunate truth, and that truth is, no one makes or sells bagged vacuum cleaners anymore. But despite the lack of new bagged vacuum cleaners, this hardware store still stocked bags for bagged vacuum cleaners originally sold by Electrolux, Eureka, and Hoover. The implication of this was clear. If I wanted a bagged vacuum, I was going to have to buy a used one, and fortunately, there must be a number of them still in service. After failing to find a new Hoover bagged vacuum cleaner at nearby brick-and-mortar stores, I tried to acquire a used unit from one of the local thrift shops. The surrounding area has a large number of such outlets, but in spite of looking for 3 months, I did not find one working used bag Hoover vacuum available for sale. I was starting to realize that people were not upgrading to modern bagless vacuums unless their bagged vacuum was either broken or if bags were no longer available for them. As we saw, hardware stores still stocked vacuum cleaner bags, even though they didn't sell any bagged vacuums. Doing some research online revealed that vacuum cleaner bags were still widely available for sale for almost any model manufactured in the last 40 years. This left the vintage equipment source of last resort, eBay. While eBay is an excellent resource when one is looking for hard-to-find equipment, prices are generally a significant multiple above that which one would pay at a thrift store or through a swap site like Craigslist. Add to that the shipping cost, which is not insignificant for a vintage vacuum, and the final bill can be a pretty penny. Fortunately, I was able to find a Hoover Model 700 vacuum from the early 1980s at a reasonable price. While the Model 700 does not feature either direct drive wheels or a retractable cord, 2 of the 5 features discussed early in this episode, this model vacuum was sufficient to demonstrate the key 3 features that can make a bagged vacuum superior to that of a bagless model.
I assembled this Hoover Model 700 vacuum off camera. In retrospect, I realized I should have filmed the assembly, something which I will be careful to do in the future. However, this model would have come fully assembled from the factory, so you're seeing the vacuum as a consumer from 1984 would have seen it.
The Model 700 features a headlight, which was normal for one of their consumer models built during this period. The base of the vacuum has also been reinforced with a rubber bumper, handy for protecting furniture and walls from accidental knocks. During operation, the Hoover vacuum handily illuminates the cleaning surface, making it easy to see that bits and particles are not left behind and that the surface is clean. When the vacuum's bag is full, the operator merely unzips the cloth cover, removes the bag, and discards it. The vacuum is now ready for a fresh bag. It's that simple.
I know I said Tektronix doesn't make Hoover vacuums, and they don't, but they do own the brand for the United States. So, to be fair, I went and got one. Let's see how close Tektronix comes to the 20th century Hoover standard.
Hoover Tektronic model UH70901 has one of the three features of the Model 700 and one feature it does not. The UH70901 does not have either a dust bag or a rubber bumper, but it does sport a headlight and a retractable cord. It also has the extendable wand included in most Bagless vacuums, something not available on the Model 700, although many Hoovers in that era did have that feature. The headlight and the cord, as well as the brush roller attachment for the wand, gives the UH70901 higher utility than most Dysons.
All in all, not bad.
I reviewed another household appliance in episode 5. That episode told of the dawn of television and the reign of the cathode ray tube-based TV. The link to that video can be found below.
I hope you enjoyed watching this episode on Hoover vacuums. If so, make sure you click on the like button. YouTube places particular importance on subscribers, so please show your support by clicking on the subscribe button. Clicking the bell icon will make sure that you receive notifications of new episodes. Links to material related to this video, episodes 1 through 6, and the BTM channel can be found below. Be sure to check out the channel feed on Instagram, where I post sneak peeks of upcoming episodes and photos of products we are working on. Exclusive content is available for those viewers that subscribe to the channel on Patreon, the link to which is also available below, along with the channel's snail mail address. Thanks for watching.
The vacuum cleaner. It is seemingly... Start over.